Hi, today I'm looking at Single-Handed Sailor by Dire Straits. So obviously this is Mark Knopfler's lead playing his song as well. So I'm going to show you the intro lead first. The song's kind of in D minor stroke F, you could say it's in F major. F major and D minor are kind of the same thing really, they've got the same notes in. So I think of it as D minor. So in this sort of position to begin with, the 10th position as you might expect in D minor. And we've got to start off like this, playing a 10 on the 3rd string, hammer onto a 12, and then play the 10 on the 2nd string, but then flatten your finger down to get and play the 10 on the 1st, like this. So you've got that rolling motion with your hand. Not that, but that. And then from the 12 on the 2nd string, you play that note but very quickly slide to a 15. So it's a bit of vibrato on that. And you do that again. Same thing again, but instead of the 12 sliding to the 15, you play a 13 instead. And then we've got another slight variation. You do the hammer on the 3rd string, 10 to 12. 10 on the 2nd string like before, but instead of going to the 1st afterwards, we go to the 3rd, still 10. So it's instead of it's, and then 10 on the 2nd string and very quickly slide up to 15. So it's a long slide, that one. So from the beginning we've got slowly. Then play the first phrase again. Same phrase again, but when you do the slide to the 15, you immediately do that again, like this. And then we play the other phrase we did before where you land on the 13 at the end. And then something very similar to what we did before where we play the 3rd string, 10, hammer onto 12. 10 on the 2nd, 10 on the 3rd, 10 on the 2nd string, slide to 15, just like we did earlier. And then we've got this little end phrase, which is 13 to 10 on the 2nd string, 3rd string, 12 to 10, with a slight bend on the 10 downwards, little bluesy bend, then a 12 on the 4th string, which is the D, the root note. Now that phrase, if I just play the notes, it doesn't really sound like Mark Knopfler, and you've got to do a bit of his kind of fingerstyle playing to try and get this. He almost, I couldn't hear exact muted notes, but he almost kind of goes, that does some of that stuff. You've probably seen from my other videos on his playing. He does a lot of this thing where he rolls thumb, 1st, 2nd fingers. You get that percussive thing. And it almost sounds like he's doing a bit of that. Certainly on the 13 anyway. So if I can't say that I'm certain that he's doing this, but it sort of sounds right to me. So what I would do here is play the thumb on the 3rd string muted. So muted with this hand. And then 2nd or 1st finger on the 2nd string muted afterwards, so it's, and then your thumb would come down to that 2nd string and play the 13. So it's, and you don't really need to do it on the others, so it's that kind of thing. So I'll just play that whole intro sequence in time with itself, but slower than the song. that's the whole intro solo. Now I'm going to do some other lessons on the other solos in this song, and they're all very, very similar to that one. So even if it's those you're more interested in, learn this one first, because it really is used a lot later in the song. Or not the whole solo, but a lot of what I just did is used. So yeah, please check those out as well. They should be on here. If they're not on here now, they'll be on here very soon. Okay, thanks for watching. Any questions, put them in the comments. Okay, cheers.